Originally, I grew up in Orlando, Florida, and I moved out after high school. I did my medical school training in Memphis, Tennessee, and I found my way up to Louisville, Kentucky to do my orthopedic surgery residency training. I fell in love with Kentucky during my 5 years there, and I decided I had to come back, and I found a home here in Bowling Green with my wife, who's been long suffering through all my medical training with me here. So we're very excited to be here.
A long road to get here. But take me back, because you were a cello player, you did some jiu-jitsu. Like, how did we arrive at medicine?
Sure, that is a long story and a pretty funny shift. I fell in love with the cello when I was 9 years old. I've been really into music my entire life. Got pretty good at it, if I may say so, and ended up getting a full ride to the University of Memphis for a music performance degree. And I transitioned away from that and really found a love for anatomy and physiology of the human body and just the incredible way that it works and functions. And that kind of took me down a road of pre-medical study. And I found myself then at the University of Tennessee for medical school. And I thought that although music touches lives and souls and the hearts of people, and that's always going to have a special place in my heart, I really thought a more tangible way to help people with orthopedic surgery and helping heal injured people and help them be functional again was a more satisfying, ultimately, way to pursue my career. And so that's how I made that transition.
So what clicked about shoulder, you know, the specialty that you chose? How did you arrive at that?
That's a great question. You know, everybody has their own passion for whatever reason, but I think a combination of, as you mentioned, I like to do mixed martial arts like jiu-jitsu. I also used to compete as a power lifter. So just the intricacy and complexity of the human shoulder really fascinated me. Out of all the joints you can think of, it has the most degrees of motion and freedom and is a very complex and dynamic joint. So one of the things that drew me to it was its extreme complexity, and also that it's almost a little bit more of a young field in orthopedics. We've been doing hip replacements since the 1960s, but shoulder surgery and shoulder replacements have only begun to catch up with the technology, and I wanted to be a part of that burgeoning field in advancing of technology. Because in orthopedics you get a general training in all areas of the body in orthopedics, but that I felt that because the shoulder was such a complicated joint, I wanted to know more and get above and beyond the general training that a surgeon gets. So I went to Tampa, Florida for a year to work with one of the pioneering shoulder surgeons in the country who really revolutionized shoulder surgery in the last 2 decades, and wanted to learn everything he had to teach me, including having to do revision surgeries where other surgeons have done work on replacements where people have fallen and unfortunately injured themselves again after surgery, so that I can learn, you know, the utmost and most cutting edge techniques and technology that go into these more complex issues. I wanted to bring it back to Kentucky to help people where maybe there aren't as many opportunities in more rural locations.
That's so lucky that Graves Gilbert has you. I know you've been here a short time, but can you tell me about your best experience so far in your practice, or your most difficult, either one?
Well, I'll start with the best. Really, it's been the community here in Bowling Green has been just exceptional. The patients have been so kind and welcoming to me. My office and my staff people in the office have just been so helpful and patient with me as I've learned the ropes of learning the systems here and the communities here. I really couldn't speak highly enough of the caliber of the people I've met in this town while I've been here.
What are your personal interests outside of medicine?
So I'm a big lover of nature. My wife and I, we love to travel, especially to the national parks in the United States. I've been to 49 out of the 50 states. I'm still missing North Dakota. I'm not sure when I'm going to get up there, but I just love to be outside, enjoy nature. As we mentioned before, I used to compete in powerlifting, so lifting heavy weights, but as time has gone by, I've tried to step away from that a little bit just so I don't have to replace my own shoulder someday.
Exactly.
And I like to pursue a little bit of martial arts here and there for fun, and you get to meet a lot of interesting people in that way too, and have community in and of itself.
I'm sure. And finally, what would you say to someone considering you as their provider?
I would tell them that there are a lot of excellent orthopedic surgeons in the area, and obviously we have good academic centers north and south of us. However, I feel that I bring a very unique approach to the shoulder surgery in particular, with the cutting edge technology and education I've received. But outside of all that, I try to bring a aspect of humanity and care and an individual approach to every single patient that I meet, knowing that every single person has different expectations, needs, requirements, and expectations, and then I try to tailor my approach to each person individually and not give a sort of a cookie cutter approach to anything.